What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to today's news roundup, where I'm going to take you through some of the information around the deal that took Harvey Elliott to Aston Villa. We're going to ask and try to figure out what went on with Mark Gay's proposed move to Liverpool that collapsed at the last minute. We'll talk through the hole that Luke Edwards just keeps on digging for himself, and that hole is getting bigger and bigger by the day. And we'll bring you a couple of other bits and pieces, including the overall spend in the transfer window, what it looks like against other clubs, and also what it looks like against other leagues. So all this to come over the next few minutes, but you know the score. I want to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We will be live tonight, 8:45 for the late night agenda. We'll answer any questions you guys have, and of course I'm looking forward to catching back up with you all. Right, let's get stuck into it. So, Paul Joyce has given us a bit more information on exactly what the deal is that took Harvey Elliott to Aston Villa. And by the way, Harvey Elliott will wear the number 9 at Aston Villa, the number, of course, that Marcus Rashford had while on loan. So, Liverpool have included a buyback and sell-on clause in Harvey Elliott's £35 million move to Aston Villa. A lot of focus on money spent, but understandably sales this summer have been incredible as well, said Paul. 236 million guaranteed, 262 million with add-ons for those players that Liverpool moved on, versus 288.5 guaranteed since last summer, 324.5 with add-ons. So Liverpool done very well in the market with regards to players coming in and going out. Now, we do have a statement from Harvey Elliott that he's put out about his move to Aston Villa, and this is what Harvey had to say. When I joined Liverpool in 2019, it was a dream come true for me and my family. As a young child, I travelled the world supporting the team as a fan, and words will never be enough to explain the feeling I had when I pulled on the famous red shirt for the first time. Over the course of the last 6 years, I've experienced so much and grown from a young 16-year-old boy into a man during my time at the club. Growing up, I could never have imagined that I'd go on to play 150 games for my boyhood team, winning 7 major trophies and culminating in being part of the squad to have won the Premier League last season with such a special group. Thank you to everybody at the club for welcoming me from the very first day since I arrived, for looking after me ever since. Thank you to the board and Jurgen for helping me live my dream, become a Liverpool player, to Arne Slot, all of the coaches and staff who've helped me along the way, and of course my teammates. It's been a privilege to play with you all, and I feel lucky to have made so many lifelong friends along the way. To the incredible Liverpool fans, thank you for making me one of your own and for always supporting me through both the good and tough times. I'll always cherish the bond we have together. I will always have Liverpool in my heart. It's now time for a new challenge. I'm incredibly ambitious and feel that this is the stage of my career. It's important to be in an environment where I'm able to have the opportunity to play and progress as much as possible. Thank you all for everything. See you soon. You'll never walk alone. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A lovely statement from Harvey Elliott. And of course, we do wish him nothing but the very best and hope we see him back in a Liverpool shirt in the future. Right, Luke Edwards of The Telegraph, the gift that just kept on giving for the transfer window, has now decided he needs not just a shovel to dig this hole, but maybe a JCB. So he said some insiders suggested from April onwards, ISAK was behaving and playing like someone who did not want his team to qualify for the Champions League, as he knew it would make it harder for him to explain to Howe and the supporters why he wanted to go. That is a very, very big accusation for him to make, and I hope he's got good legal team there at the Telegraph, because it looks as if he could be in a bit of trouble. More on that in a moment. So, after spending £400 million on players, this LFC approved account on X said Liverpool crept back into being a top 6 Premier League club over the last 5 seasons for spending. Mad we've been made to believe we're buying the league and breaking every PSR rule. When, as he's pointed out, Chelsea, €2.09 billion spent, Manchester United 1.18, Manchester City 1.15, Arsenal 1.08 billion, Spurs 1.05, and then 6th place Liverpool 1.02. So, you know, it's just been good business by our club, not just money spent, money recouped. So, The Premier League spent more than Serie A, the Bundesliga, La Liga and Ligue 1 combined this summer, with a grand total of €3.56 billion spent by Premier League clubs. That is a very, very clear indication of where the money is, ladies and gentlemen, currently in football. It is in the Premier League. So, Alexander Isak's agent has said this: "It's nice when you have somebody to be with, but it's even nicer when you know you'll never be with them again." So, seems very happy with his client's move to Liverpool. So, Sports Joe put out a graphic. Arsenal's net spend in this summer's transfer window is £257 million. But we're buying the league title, apparently, with a net spend of £218 million. So, 39 million quid less, but we're buying the league, apparently. Let it keep coming, folks. I live for these moments. Do let that bitterness just keep on coming. Right. Mark Gay is extremely unhappy after being denied a move to Liverpool at the last minute yesterday, and feels he behaved correctly by continuing to play for Crystal Palace before the plug being pulled on a deal. Understand that Gay is planning to release a statement soon, said Ed Aarons. Now on that, what did this teach us? Well, like I said yesterday, all the players who kicked up a fuss, be it ISAK, be it Visa, be it Garnacho, they all got their moves away. And the guy who played it like a model pro and was respectful got shafted. So if that doesn't tell all of these pundits and journalists who are quick to, point the finger to the likes of ISAK why they do it, I don't know what will. What do you get for being a good guy? Shafted. So I think you can probably understand now why these guys do it, because they have to look after their own interests. There won't be any worries over ISAK's character, writes Ian Doyle of The Echo, and why would there be, I've never feared it. But then again, the hypocrisy around all of this has been mad. Newcastle fans in particular are a special breed of hypocrites. So they are welcoming and screaming and joyous at the signing of Johan Visa, but ISAK was a rat. Make that make sense, please. And look, I understand we're all hypocrites, but to have been so vociferous in their abuse towards ISAK, only to welcome in a player who, by the way, you have massively overpaid for. 55 million for a player that you were offering 25 million for, offered 25 million at the start of this, and now 55 is what got him. So let's see who won this transfer window, Newcastle fans, because you ended up with Voltmada and Visa for a combined 130 odd million. We ended up with Alexander Isak. I'll take that from our side. Thank you very much. Enjoy it. Right. Chris Williams said, and this is what I was mentioning earlier on, by the way, about Luke Edwards, informed via individual insider from Universal 22, which I believe are the agency that looks after ISAK, they are looking at whether there's a defamation of character case to answer for the publication of highly controversial, unverified remarks in a UK national newspaper about ISAK deliberately trying to sabotage matches. Should have just stopped, Lukey boy. You give it this whole, I have a special set of skills, but you don't have common sense, Luke, and you don't have any self-awareness. Just stop it, mate. You had your little moment in the sun. You were shown up to be an absolute clown, and now you're still digging that hole. Just stop it, mate. For your own good and sanity, just stop it. Next up, one source close to Mark Gay said that he is considering whether to continue as Crystal Palace captain or not. Not only that, Ed Aarons writes that other members of the squad were also believed to be upset that Mark Gay was denied his move. Like I mentioned earlier on, the net spend at the end of this is as follows. Arsenal £257 million, Liverpool £218.4 million, Manchester United, the club with no money who are firing everybody, cutting the crusts off the Sambos, they're £170.7 million. Next, Spurs £154.2 million, and Sunderland come in next with £141.4 million net spend. Ed Aarons said Liverpool could attempt to re-sign Gay in the January window, although he will also be able to sign a pre-contract agreement for an overseas club. He goes on to say that Barca, Bayern and Juventus are believed to have an interest in him. I believe, by the way, that there's probably already an agreement there that we revisit this, because remember, he was sitting there yesterday, medical done, in his Liverpool gear, and he got shafted. But I think we will revisit this, and I do expect him to become a Liverpool player either in January or the end of next season. Romano has said Mark Gay is really upset. He wanted to go to Liverpool. If Crystal Palace sold Gay without replacement, Oliver Glasner may have resigned. Well, the chairman's been bullied by his manager, and that's a dangerous precedent to set. Paul Joyce said Mark Guehi will reject any offer of a new contract from Crystal Palace and plans to leave as a free agent when his contract expires next summer. He goes on to say Guehi, who agreed a 5-year deal with the Premier League champions, was waiting at their London office during the latter stages of deadline day and will be able to sign a pre-contract with a club overseas or wait till next summer and potentially complete a move to Anfield. It remains to be seen though whether Liverpool will go back in January at a reduced fee or wait till the end of the season. Of course, I will continue to try to dig into this and get as much info as I can, and hopefully have a bit more tonight at 8:45 when we talk. So that is it for me for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for all of your support over what has been an absolutely manic summer. Really a pleasure to be able to spend it with you. And again, I hope to see you here tonight at 8:45. Apologies again, I couldn't stream last night, but as I mentioned, family comes first, so I hope you'll forgive me for it. I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good one. Bye-bye.